Hello everybody, welcome back to Classic Arcade Repairs. My name is Sean and my little partner's coming to join me again. And today I am looking at another video pinball board. This one is super clean. It's extremely clean. It's got, of course, this guy has all of these bipolar ROMs. It's a 16 bipolar ROM version. So we'll have to, I mean, it looks clean. The board looks really nice. Yeah, we'll go through it. And this is our next guy. Okay, so we have the board all hooked up. Parts to parts. Over here we have parts. This is parts. My AR is plugged in. Nothing else is. Monitor is on. The black and white monitor is on, as you can see. So let's see what this does. Okay. Looks kind of good, I think. Alright, let me pull the pin out because, I mean, it's... Hell, it looks like it's working. Let me pull the pin out and see what's going on. Alright guys, I've been trying to find a solution for the plunger on video pinball, and I saw this part of the schematic, and then if I page down, let's see if I can do this and find what I'm looking for. There it is. Let's see if I can zoom out. Alright, there's what I'm talking about. Does anyone recognize this board? This is the Missile Command 4-inch trackball board. And I saw that and I was like, oh, I got a bunch of, I got a handful anyway of Atari 4-inch trackballs. So what I did was I came over and went through my stash, and I came upon this guy right here. Doesn't have the ball, but it has the boards and the rollers. So if I just spin this guy backwards, watch. Hey, there it is. And the problem with this board is there's no sound. So now that I can actually see what I'm looking at, and I can actually serve the pinball, see, all I have to do is spin this guy backwards. And there it is. That's it. So now I can actually work on this guy and find out why I got no sound. And it's pretty much every sound. So I'm going to be looking for something universal. So I'm going to look at the schematic. I know there's sound generation part of the schematic. I'll start there, and that, you know, I'll start there and we'll go from there. So let's get to the schematic. Okay, we're going to be firing this thing up. And I guess I gotta plug it in first. It looks like I left the black and white monitor on all night. That's cool. It still works. It's a good test. Okay. And we're playing right now. There should be sounds right now. And there's nothing. I'm playing with the with this guy here. This is the start button, and it works. Yeah, but there's nothing going on. Okay. Well, I'm gonna fire up this scope. I've got it all ready to go. And we're gonna take a look at some stuff. I've got parts from the sound generation listed from the schematic. I just kind of listed everything that's in the audio schematic. You know, for simplicity's sake, I just listed everything. And we'll look at everything as we're playing the game. We should see some stuff, right? Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on here. Those are not the glasses that I want, and the ones that I want are probably in the house, of course. Oh well, we'll see if I can. I'll try these. It's just they're so. I got to get right on the board. In order, these are my Coke bottle glasses. Okay. 273 at L3. This guy. It's got a clock signal. It's good. Okay, and we should have some sounds, I would think. I'm playing the game right now. That's odd. This signal is well above ground. It's kind of strange, isn't it? This is a 244. Okay. Out. In. In. Out. Out. In. In. Out. just continue to play the game. And there's nothing going on this chip, guys. That chip is like the main latch that starts everything, I believe. And it's not doing anything. And I don't like that either. I mean, that's lifted up above ground. This thing doesn't seem to be doing anything either. You would think that these would be doing something, right? This guy is M3. We got L3 and M3. This one, that's held high. This one, it's clearing somewhat. That's a weird signal, though. It's very strange. Huh. Very interesting. I mean, that's like the beginning of things. That 273 at L3 isn't doing a thing during gameplay. During when sounds are supposed to be generated. So I think what we are going to have to do is I'm going to have to analyze that and see what is going on. And I can actually do that with this scope. I can just look at the waveforms. Because it's just it's a D flip-flop. In and out, it's got a clock and a clear. That's 4 signals, right? So we'll go with this guy. And this guy. So with this scope, I'm going to move. You have to use the what is that? The vertical position. I'm going to position this guy way up here. Oh, that's this. How come you don't want to move? There we go. And turn on channels 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Oh my gosh. Now, so that all of them are equal, we want to make sure that our volts per division are equal. And I find that 2.5 volts is perfect. So I'm going to set channel 1 to 2.5 volts. And channel 4 is at not the right thing. Come on, damn it. Okay. Now, two and a half all the way across. Very good. This guy, pin 1, will be clear. Input 2 will be the clock. Those are fixed, never change. And then 3 will be our input. 4 will be our output. There. Okay. Clear. Date is high. Pin 2 is clock, right? And we need to set this to trigger on channel 2, because channel 2 is the clock, and that's what I want to reference everything on, is the clock. So we need to go to our trigger menu over here, and then select source channel 2, and that will stop it right there. And I want to center this, so let's now I want to actually play the game and see if this ever goes high at the clock. Yes, it does. See that? Absolutely. Can you see that? Let me move. Oh my God, you can't see anything I'm doing. I'm sorry. As you can see here, okay, I am triggering on the clock pulse, and basically, you know, I'm kicking everything. Basically, whenever this clock pulse happens, you can see that this is still high, so this should do something. So actually, I'm kind of curious about this signal anyway, because this signal seems like it's funky to me. So anyway, I'm going to play the game, and as the game is playing, you'll see when sounds are being generated, you'll see this go high right here. So this should go high down here. Like whenever a sound happens, this data line goes high. 'Cause that's what this is a data line. It'll go high, and this should go high along with it at the clock pulse, but it doesn't. You'll see that. Okay, now I'm playing the game. Now watch, here comes some sound. See that? Hold on. And here comes some sounds. Every time that thing does that, there should be sound. You see how it's going high right there. This thing isn't doing anything. Now I kind of do want to look at this guy. I'm going to move right over to M3. It's the same chip. Come on. Now this thing just isn't that strong. This chip clip kind of sucks. Okay. Now let's see if during gameplay this does anything. Yeah, it's not really doing anything, is it? It's cleared anyway. Yeah. Well, there it was high. There it goes. Maybe I just wasn't on it very good. I don't know. And all right, let's play. Now this doesn't really do anything to that. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. Well, we know that L3 ain't working, so I think a good thing to do, a good place to start, is to replace L3, because it definitely was not working. So I'm going to move the camera back a little bit. Kind of move it around a little bit. And yeah, so L3, that 273 latch definitely was not doing anything. And that's like one of the main cogs in the audio wheel. M3, I don't even know what it does. And right now I don't really care. All I care about is I know that L3 don't work. So let's go ahead, let's replace L3 and see what we got. Oh, very interesting. What have we here? This is the 273 at L3 that we were just looking at. Remember, pin 1 was weird? How it was kind of not driving all the way to ground on the pulsing? Well, look at pin 1. The clear pin is pulled high. So this thing is shorted internally and causing a pulse to show up on pin 1. Aha! This thing's fried. So I'm heating up the gun right now. We're going to pull this guy, get it out of there. And that should fix our sound, I would think. Okay, L3 going bye-bye. L3 Alright, and we'll get our little trusty red-handled little flathead screwdriver and nudge, nudge, pop, crack, pop, snap, out. Wonderful. Oh, we got a little bit of a short right there. Can't be having that. Looking good. Looking good. Clean the tip. And put that up. Turn on the iron. And for S's and G's. This comes up good. 273. How is that possible? Well, I'm going to put a socket in here. I mean, we saw pin 1 had a clear signal on it. We saw that. Yeah, this thing's telling us that this 273 is good. The only thing that I could think, is there anything else being pulled high by that resistor? So let me grab where is this resistor that's pulling this thing high? It's not connected to a resistor. Pin 1 is connected to this guy. It's 161. Pin 1 is connected to this 161. It clearly said that it was pulled high. Clearly stated that it was pulled high in the schematic. Pin 1, L3, that is L3. Pin 1 is connected to one of the output bits, I would take it. It's not an output bit. It's an enable pulse. It's connected to an enable pulse of that guy, which is connected to pin 1 of this guy, which is connected to the preset of the 74 and something else, going into a rabbit hole there. But the schematic isn't right. I'm going to look at it again, because it clearly said pin 1 of this guy is pulled high, but it doesn't really matter. It just didn't look like it was working anyway. I want to hook that up and see if we have sound, because it's not working. Okay, I got a 273 here. Okay, 273. We can put this guy up for now. And yes, I am turning a little bit of a new leaf, and I'm going to use a little more sockets on boards. I know I don't use them much. I'm going to start using sockets a little bit more in my repairing, just because, you know, it's just another thing they have to buy and keep lots of. I mean, I do enough of them anyway. I do a lot, actually. I like to put it over here. I like to keep this heat sink off of my desk. And we'll hook this thing back up. It's a big contraption, so that we can actually play this. And I'm going to fire it up. See if we get some sound. Okay. How do you coin this thing up? One coin, 2 plays. It is now, it never used to do this. It would start right up. I don't know what coin is. I'm going to have to wire in a coin input. I believe it's not that. There we go. Hey, we're getting something. It's doing something. I don't care what that tester said. That chip was bad. But there's more bad on here. Nah. Okay, anyway, we're getting somewhere. It's definitely an improvement because I hear popping. It's not right, of course, but at least it's doing something now. And I want to I'm going to grab my logic probe, I think. Whoa. My logic probe. I rewired my logic probe. So I didn't like the way it was wired. And I got these little grabber guys so that I can actually, man, I really need my other glasses. These ones are so strong. There we go. Yeah, that's pulsing. I mean, that's normal. That's what it's supposed to do. Let's play the game and see if this pulses. Yep, it sure does. That's the output. Remember, it wasn't before. Alright guys, check this out. Remember, my chip tester said, hey, that 273 is good. And I said, wait, no it's not. I've seen it wasn't good. Well, I'm beginning to trust my chip tester. As this guy right here, remember, pin 1 clearly had a signal on it, and it says it's pulled high here. And I know the camera cut out when I was saying some things about how the schematic must be wrong because there's clearly a signal on pin 1. Remember, we've seen a clear clock looking signal on pin 1. I was like, well, the schematic's got to be wrong. Nope, the schematic is not going to be wrong. Because look over here, that's a pull-up, R2. Well, here we have R2 pulling these guys high too. And then if we come over here, we got R2 pulling that guy high and this guy. R2 also pulls something high on this guy. Which, just trust me, I'm not going to mess with messing it up. But the two counters, the 174, the same chip, and this guy, all are having lines pulled high by R2. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace that 74 and both of these counters. And that will take care of our problem. I'm not going to bother seeing which one's wrong. I'm going to replace all three of these parts. And then we'll let the chip tester tell us which one was bad. So let's get to it. Alright guys, well. I replaced these three guys, remember the two 161s and the 74. And while those were out of the board, my camera died, by the way, and it's still plugged in to the wall. But what I discovered was I was still getting that clock-like signal on the clear pin of these guys and this guy. Remember that weird looking clock looking signal that was a little bit above ground? Well, I discovered that R2 is right here. That's R2. That guy right there. That's what's pulling all of those signals to 5 volts. It's also pulling two signals on the CPU to 5 volts. The problem was the CPU. which is weird. Is that the game worked and everything, but the CPU was bad. It was shorted. Now with the new CPU in, it does not. That pulsing is gone now. Now it's just held high, and I can show you that. Let me turn this on, and I'll hook it up. Get the probe here. We'll wait for it to boot. Come on. Come on, boot up. Alright. Now we'll take the probe and we'll put it on pin 1 of this guy. Remember pin 1 is where it was at. And now it is nicely pulled high. And if I put the old CPU in it, you'll see that clock signal. This guy is dead. It's not dead, it's just shorted internally, that one thing. Other than that, it works. It's very strange. I've never seen a CPU do that, to where one of the inputs or the outputs or whatever is on pin 2 is shorted to, it looks like the theta 2 clock is what it looked like. Was shorted across it, because that's pin 37. It's like pin 37 was coming over to pin 2 as well. So that's what the problem was. But we got a few new chips here, and I went ahead and replaced this CPU socket, because a nice new CPU, well, it needs a new home, right? It needs a new socket. So I replaced that socket. We got some sockets here with some new chips. And let's put this up here and let's see if we've got our sound. You wanna? Let's do a little zoomage. And I'll turn off some lights and we'll play it a little bit. A little black and white. A little sideways video pinball. We're playing some sideways video pinball. How's that? Okay, let me coin this baby up. There we go. And we will hit start. Okay, get my bearings about me. Okay, and here we go. Serve. The baby's loud. I don't know which way I'm turning it. That must be turning it up. Alright, here we go. Ooh. There we go. That's a better volume. Oh! Third ball. This is cool. I would love to play this full on. And that's the game. Guys, it's working. as it should. All the sounds are good to go. Got a few new unnecessary parts, but hey, you know, that's okay. We knew where we were. We were in the right area the whole time. And it come down to be the CPU. So wow. Yeah, let's do this. So, video pinball. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. Okay, video pinball. Got it. Plugged it in. Looked like it was working. The sound was the issue. So I started probing around and found that the clear pin for the latch, and in turn the clear pin for a lot of the not the clear pin, the count enable, it was pulsing the count enable pin of the 161s. The main thing was this latch, making that latch not work correctly, and then everything else is just kind of fodder afterwards. But yeah, it was a CPU, so we replaced the CPU socket just because. New CPU 6502, a few new parts, and video pinball is ready to go back in the pinball cabinet. Thanks guys, another one saved. And if I hadn't mentioned it before, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, as it really does help. And we'll see you on the next repair. Thank you.